What's up, homies? This is Tycoy Pinkston. Let's pack and ship some comics. All right, my friends. So this is video 3 in my series of packing and shipping comics. The first video focused on the novel seller, where you are only moving like maybe a small bundle of your kids' comic books or something like that, and you don't want to go out there and buy specialty shipping materials. My second video focused on using the Gemini mailer and how that can be a really efficient and cheap way if you're looking to move a couple of long boxes. This video is also going to be for I really think it's going to be for either of those two groups. But here we're talking about what happens when you need to ship 20, 30, 40 comics in one box. What's a safe way to do that? This is the Tycoy Pinkston way. Please check it out, and hopefully you'll find something valuable here. All right, my friends, when you're shipping in larger bulk, you run into a problem if you're a Gemini kind of person, right? So the makers of the Gemini mailer recommend that you only put about up to 10 comics if they have bags and boards with them in a Gemini. And for sure, if you're dealing with a stack this thick, it's not going to fit. All right. So I'm going to show you the Tycoy Pinkston way of mailing all this stuff off. Okay? I'm going to start with a bag that I can get all of the books in, because we don't ever use tape directly on a comic bag, just because it leads to complications. Plus, these bags, they do great with weathering. Okay. In case it gets wet out there, being in a bag like this is really going to save the day. So I'm going to go ahead and seal it up. I'm going to use my magic tape here. And again, I've folded over the tips to make it easier for the buyer to unpack this, so that they also don't need to get their nail in there and scratch it. That's just really, not only is it annoying for a buyer, but there's always that risk that they might scratch a little too deep and hurt a book. Okay? Do that on the top and the bottom. These are self-sealing bags, but again, I generally don't self-seal them because I get the benefit I need by taping them down, and because I have tried opening self-sealed bags before and I can see where it's the potential to cut too far into your comic can fall. Okay. All right. So now we've got that sealed up. Clearly too thick to go in a Gemini. So what I'm going to do is select my box. All right. How many comics you sell and ship is going to kind of dictate what your boxes look like. I sell a lot of comics, so I want to make sure they go out in quality boxes. We should always make sure they go out in quality boxes, but I get it if you're only selling a couple dozen, you don't want to go buy a ream of boxes, okay? But if you are moving a good number, then I use this company here, Uline, because they have 200-pound test corrugated cardboard boxes for cheap. This is a good dimension to use. Okay, 12 by 9, and then the 3 or the height on it is all going to depend on the thickness or the height of it, which is going to relate to how many books you're selling. So for this lot, I think 3 is pretty decent. I could probably get away with a 2-inch box. I keep in my garage 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 inches. All right, that way I've always got something. Now, I'm going to use one of these cardboard cutouts here. Okay, this cardboard piece. Now, this is also purchased from Uline, and the dimensions are such that it fits very firmly and snugly right into my box, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center these books on that, and I'm going to use painter's tape, not packing tape, not scotch tape, but painter's tape. I'm going to fold the corner, because again, it's a nice thing to do. Makes it easier to open. We got to get little longer strips because it's a thick guy here. And we're going to go all the way around here, okay? Yeah, painter's tape comes off of these bags really easily when you try and pull it off. Yet at the same time, it does its job to hold it in place. All right? Got a little bit of a fold there. There we go. Problem solved. All right, so we come down here, and again, just pressing it like so. The goal is that I don't want these books moving around inside the box And being able to anchor them to one of these 150-pound test cardboard slabs that I get from Uline is helpful. So we just fold it over. See, doing the pinch there. All right, so by doing this, I can now take this and it's gonna go in my box. You see? And I just push it down. And you can hear it's a real snug fit going down there because again, the cardboard cutout that I'm using is the same dimensions as the inside of my box. So it's in there and you can already see, look at that. It's not going anywhere, okay? But we're not done yet. We're now going to use some newspaper. I have seen people go out and buy packing material like newspaper. I don't understand why they do it. I get so much junk mail that's really good to use, right? Just pull out the junk mail, put it in a box, they use it as your packing material. See, so I'm kind of tucking the junk mail up there. If you're shipping a lot and you don't get that much junk mail, don't tell anyone I told you this. But if you go to your public library and you let them know that you need some newspaper for packing, they throw away a lot of newspaper. Usually, this has been my experience, is they say, all right, well, give us a couple weeks. I go back, I got a huge stack of newspapers that they were just gonna throw away. So it's pretty cool, man. All right, so wadding it up, and it's just the tucking, all right? We're tucking it in. Again, extra added layer of protection here, okay? Just gonna speed this last step up a little bit because I value your time. I think you guys get the point too, right? Okay. So that's what it looks like right now, okay? What I am not going to do right now, but I'm going to show you, is I like to take a marker and write down who it's going to after I pack it up so that I don't forget before I settle up. And then I usually write it in pen on the box too, and just put it where I would put the, the shipping label so that it's all covered up once I actually send it. All right, friends, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take one more of those slabs and we're going to of cardboard and we're going to fit it in here, okay? Now there's about an inch space that I can see that's in there between this top cardboard piece and how the box is going to close. So I'm going to wad up newspapers and just throw that in here. I want to get enough to make it a nice of a firm seal. Yeah, just one more here real quick. Alright, that ought to do the trick, okay? So once that's in, fold our boxes down. I'm sure you can figure out the rest yourself, but I will say that you're going to notice there's a tight squeeze here, okay? So you're going to want to make sure that with your packing tape, you use the good stuff, alright? Squeeze it together, run the tape, and then do you notice how the edge is sticking out? You're going to want to make sure that you push it in like that, okay? I'm going to show you what it looks like when I'm done because I can't really film myself doing this. All right, so I did it. You can notice here, we got these nice and tight. Pushed it through. Nice and tight on each end. And you can feel like I shake this. No, man, there's nothing going on in there, okay? I always write something like this on the box. Just remember, the whole reason for this video is because we want to make sure that we're packing up our books safely to send to people who want to get them in one piece. The post office do not care what you write on the box, all right? So we put it on there just because. I don't even know why, but they ignore it for the most part. I've had people in the postal office service tell me straight up, yeah, we don't really care what it says. I write it on there anyway, but don't rely on it. So thank you very much. So that works great for shipping up to 20 books, but what if you have 40 or even 60 that you need to ship in a single package? How are you going to do that? Well, you're going to do it the same way, following the same steps that you saw in this video. You just need to get a box with a greater height to it, okay? So following those same steps is going to look like this. You're going to get up to 20 books, put them in that white bag, tape the bag to a slab of cardboard, and fit it in and get the newspaper around it. Once you do that, you're going to repeat that process
tape another bag filled with up to 20 comics to a cardboard slab, and then fit that on top of your other one, get the newspaper around it, and you can do that even a third time to get 60 books into a box if your box is 6 inches in height. So right around the time I was making this video, I actually put together a box of 60 comics for somebody on Instagram who bought from me, right? I used my 12 by 9 by 6 inch in height, 200-pound test corrugated cardboard box here, and I followed that method of 20 comics in one bag, taped to a cardboard sheet, and I just nested and did 3 layers of that within here, okay? After I sent it out, I later got a DM from the dude on Instagram, and he said, "Hey, Taikoi, did you by chance insure this?" And I said, "No, I didn't insure it, man. It's, it was media mail too. Why, what's up?" And then he sent me pictures for what the box looked like when he received it. Here's what he sent me. So yeah, man, this box was completely destroyed. He told me there was this oily, disgusting filth that just covered one side of it and it seeped onto the inside. So clearly when the guy reached out to me, he was assuming first off that all of these books were damaged, right? But knowing my shipping method and what I've seen in the past, I asked him, I said, "Hey man, open up those comics, take a look at it, and just let me know what's been damaged and what hasn't, okay? And we'll figure it out." So I give him a little bit of time, and within an hour, he ends up messaging me back, and he said, "Dude, because of the way you packaged it with the layers and with those white bags that keep moisture out, the books were completely undamaged." Okay, you can see by looking on the inside here that the outside cardboard soaked up a lot of that liquid. The slabs they were layered on also soaked up a lot of that liquid, but those white bags that I use are smooth, man, and they keep the moisture out. And because of that, none of this stuff got on the comics, and the books were delivered safely. May not have been pretty, but they got where they needed to go and in one piece. Score one for Taikoi Pinkston shipping. So if you got 30 to 35 books to ship, you don't have any of these boxes, but you do have Geminis, there is a way you can nest those together as well to ship them. Please watch my video number 2 about how to ship with Geminis, and then you can come back to this point. Okay. What we do is pack up the books in your Geminis. I have 3 here, and I've got about 10 to 12 books inside each one. Once we pack the Geminis up, we just nest 3 of them together. I will tape them on each of the 4 sides to hold them together as one unit. And then you can just drop them right into one of these thin, flimsy boxes that the post office gives you. No worries about the flimsy cardboard on the outside because the core protection is being done by the Gemini mailers. Once you get those in there, just pad up the rest of it with newspaper, seal it, and you're going to be good to go. So nesting Geminis together like this is my preferred method for submitting my comics to CGC. One day, I put together a load of 21 comics like this. I sent it into CGC. I was waiting for them to mark it as received, and it wasn't being marked as received. Trying to figure out what happened. One day, I open up my front door, and I see on my porch is this package right here. It came back to me, refused by CGC, and completely destroyed, soaked all the way through. Now, one would think that my books were completely damaged when you take a look at this, but I used the Taikoi Pinkston shipping method. So I opened them up and I saw that the Geminis had absorbed the majority of the liquid that came through. But as I opened up each of the Geminis, I then saw that the moisture was not able to get through that white bag that I have on the inside protecting it from moisture. So all of the books that were in this shipment were actually completely safe. In fact, after pulling them out, I saw no damage to any of them. I resubmitted all of the books without any treatment or pressing or anything like that. And I'll even tell you, one of the issues that was in here was a copy of Transformers #1 in a newsstand. And that came back to me at 9.8 with white pages. So that's 2 points for Taikoi Pinkston, 0 for USPS.
Hey, thanks for watching, guys. If this was helpful for you at all, please do give the video a like. All right, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back with some more videos, talking some shop regarding comics. Thank you very much. We'll catch you later.
Folks, if you go to my website, you'll see a tab called Resources, and under the Resources, there's a link to a Google Doc that lists off all the materials I've used in this video and my others for shipping in case you are interested in purchasing them for yourself. To access my website, just go visit
www.tycoidpinkston.com.
Thanks a lot.